Like I said last time, the comments on this video should be very, very interesting. So about a year ago at this point is when I made my official switch to PC gaming, I think you could say. I mean, I got my PC, in late September of last year? So yeah, it's been a little over a year at this point. And basically, I was somebody who had played on console for basically my entire life. I really knew nothing about PC gaming. I definitely didn't know anything about the hardware that went into it. And basically, the only experience I had playing on PC was playing games like Club Penguin. RIP Club Penguin, by the way, you will be missed. But anyway, I really knew nothing about PC, but I decided I was going to upload a video basically going over my first impressions and overall experience of switching to PC gaming from console as someone from more of that casual perspective instead of somebody who actually knew what went into each component and everything like that, because I feel like that turns a lot of people off. Like, a lot of people think PC gaming is this inaccessible thing because you have to know what each individual part does, and in reality you don't really have to know any of that shit. But anyway, I just wanted to put my perspective out there because I thought it was kind of unique and I felt like it was kind of lacking on YouTube. And well, I uploaded the video and it did really, really well. And well, just like the gaming industry, I figured instead of actually coming out with a new idea and doing something different, I figured I would make, I guess, what you would call a remastered or updated version to my original video surrounding the topic of migrating to the glorious PC master race. I mean, this is actually a topic, though, I really do enjoy talking about because I do feel like there's a lot of people that get turned away from PC gaming because people make it seem like it's this huge, complex, and inaccessible thing, basically making you feel like you need to have a master's degree in engineering or some shit to know what's going on with your PC, and honestly, that could not be further from the truth. I mean, shit, dude, I didn't even build my PC. What? What the fuck? And I already know I just offended some PC master race dude. He's probably typing an angry comment in the comments section right now. But anyway, to make a long story short, in case you don't want to watch this entire video, honestly, switching to PC was the best decision I've ever made, in my opinion, when it comes to gaming. And if you're able to, I honestly can't recommend it enough. But anyway, we're going to break this video up into different categories and touch on some additional points this time around that I've picked up in the past 12 months of me basically playing PC for 99% of the time I've spent gaming in the past year. But let's go ahead and kick this off with easily the most controversial topic when it comes to PC gaming. Now, like I said before, I did not build my PC, which to hardcore PC master race dudes, that's basically heresy, and it means you're quote-unquote not a real PC gamer until you build your first computer, which, I mean, if we're being honest here, that's complete and utter bullshit. I mean, despite what you hear, it is perfectly fine to buy a custom-built PC if you do not want to build it yourself. PC is all about choice, so it really just pisses me off when people are like, oh my god, you should have built it! Fuck you! It doesn't matter. It's your choice. If you want to build it, great. If you want to buy it, that's great too. It really doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, it's the same exact components, and when you use a good service, you're going to be getting a quality product either way. Now, the important part is to pick a good service. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear here, this video is not sponsored, but I am going to go into full shill mode because I really love this company, because I ordered my PC through them, and I was just extremely happy with the product, and I feel really confident recommending this because I spent like $3,000 with them. I know firsthand that this is a good company, but the company I used was NZXT Build, and honestly, I really love that company. They did a great job with my computer. You basically just pay retail price for each individual part, and you pay a $100 build fee, and the build fee includes building the computer, professional cable management, and a 2-year warranty on every single component that goes into that computer from NZXT, on top of the manufacturer's warranty you already have, so that is actually a pretty good value, all things considered. But another thing I really like too is at the very beginning of the build process, and you can use this even if you're not buying from them, it'll actually give you an idea of even if you're building, of what each component is going to do, but basically it allows you to see how swapping in different components will directly affect frame rates for certain games that you're interested in playing, which I think is a really awesome feature, and it's definitely worth checking out even if you are going to build it yourself or you're going to order from them. So I will link it in the description. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I kind of wish I was. NZXT hooked me up. Could have really used that discount code when I spent $3,000 on a computer, but that's all in the past. Now, PC dudes will make it seem like sometimes times you will have to sell your firstborn child into slavery to afford a pre-built PC, but there are plenty of services that give you a good value, all things considered. And at the end of the day, it's up to you how you want to spend your money. You will save a little bit of money by building it yourself. There's no denying that, but it's a very common misconception in the PC community, and they really don't do a good job of dispelling it, so that's why I feel like it's important to mention. But you absolutely do not have to build your first PC. If you want more control over the price and components of your PC, then build it. But maybe if you have no clue what the hell you're doing when it comes to building a PC, or maybe you just don't want to build it, like I didn't want to build it, there are options. And it's really dumb to say someone is less of a PC gamer because they don't build their PC. I think it's kind of a jealousy thing, if I'm being honest. But with that said, guys, that brings us to the next point. When it comes to the price of a PC, you can basically think of it as being like the sky is the limit. You can spend as much or as little on a PC as you want. Personally, I would recommend spending around $800 to $1,000 for a PC to get some really good performance on games now and games going into the future, but people have demonstrated time and time again that a $500 PC can outperform a $500 console. Personally, though, I would recommend spending as much as you can in order to get that much better of an experience, since, you know, the whole point of PC gaming is to be able to play games in their best possible form. And in my opinion, the whole price comparison versus PC and console gaming is kind of dumb, because you're talking about a console that, you know, you can play video games on, you can watch like Netflix and YouTube videos on, and that's about it. But on the other hand, a PC can do all of that but better, and basically anything else you can imagine. I paid around $3,000 for my PC, which may seem like a lot, but I bought like 5 terabytes worth of SSDs and also paid like $400 for overnight shipping because, you know, I'm an impatient little fuck. But anyway, I'm running games at 1080p at over 100 FPS maxed out in all the settings departments, even on open world games, which is exactly what I wanted out of my PC. I also use my PC for college work, audio, photo, and video editing for my YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, and for a bunch of other stuff I really just can't do on a console. But the main takeaway here is that the price is totally up to you. You can spend as much or as little as you want, but I guess you could say in this case, like with a certain appendage, bigger is better when it comes to a budget, because the more money you're going to be putting into your computer, the better performance you're going to see. And just a pro tip here, okay, get as much RGB as possible. It doubles FPS. So when it comes to switching to keyboard and mouse after using a controller for basically your entire life, there is definitely a learning curve. No one's going to deny that. But once you get it, man, it just feels amazing. Especially in shooters, you feel like you're actually fully in control of what you're shooting, and everything almost feels natural, and a good mouse definitely helps with that. But playing an FPS game on PC with keyboard and mouse is an entirely different experience versus playing that same game with a controller. Doom, for example, is a game I played on Xbox One when it came out, and overall I thought it was a solid shooter when I beat it on Xbox, but once I played it on PC, it became one of my favorite games I have ever played. And when you pair that with a 144Hz monitor, it is actually a sexual experience, dude. Like, there is no shame in admitting I got really fucking hard when I was playing Doom on keyboard and mouse for the first time. But even with that said, man, for racing games, third-person shooters, action games, and everything else in between, I personally plug in an Xbox or PS4 controller and play the game like I would on console. So if the keyboard and mouse situation is intimidating, every game basically on Steam at this point has native controller support for both the Xbox and PS4 controller, so you can play your games however you want. With PC, the great thing is you have options. Like, for instance, you can play Gears 5 on PC with a PS4 controller instead of a keyboard and mouse or an Xbox controller, and at the same time, you're still getting all the performance advantages of PC, like a higher frame rate. And that's the great thing. You have the option to do what you want. You don't have to play games with a keyboard and mouse. You don't have to play games with a controller. It is entirely up to you. But on the topic of frame rate, that brings us to our next segment. If there's one reason to get into PC gaming, it is definitely for the frame rate. So the game I used last time when I talked about this was Destiny 2, and I still think that's probably the best example I can think of that really shows you the difference between the two platforms, because on one hand, you have the console running the game at 30 FPS, and then when you play it on PC with an uncapped frame rate on a 144Hz monitor, it feels like a completely different game. The jump in performance is honestly crazy, and it's more than enough reason to buy a PC alone, in my opinion. opinion, frame rate really does make that big of a difference. I mean, even a game like Doom, which is 60 FPS on consoles already, it just feels infinitely better with a higher frame rate, and it just makes the game so much more enjoyable to play. Now, it may sound like bullshit, but honestly, my entire taste in games has changed entirely to favor more gameplay-focused games like Doom, for example, because of these higher frame rates making the gameplay experience that much better. So I do have a recommendation. When you are buying a PC, definitely spend the extra money and get a good monitor. Look for a monitor around 1440p, 144 Hz. That's what most people say is the sweet spot of monitors you should look at getting. And if you're kind of on a budget, go with the 1080p 144 Hz monitor. I have 3 1080p 144 Hz monitors in my setup, and honestly, that's perfect for what I want out of gaming. And I would definitely say spend the extra money, get the 144 Hz monitor versus like a 60 Hz monitor, because you're playing PC to take advantage of those higher frame rates, and you're really going to be able to notice the difference with a higher refresh rate on your monitor. So that's definitely worth spending the little bit of extra money on. But frame rate, man, it makes a world of difference when you're playing a game on PC versus console. So this is actually a big one that most people don't think about, but PC games are just cheaper all around. You can find a third-party site that sells 100% legit Steam keys for like 30% off on release date. Like Devil May Cry 5, for example, I paid $40 to get that game on release day. Same with Resident Evil 2 Remake. Not only that, but these third-party sites all have their own sales in addition to the already great Steam sales. Plus, if you want to go with more sketchy sites, you definitely can do that, like G2A. I've had a couple purchases there get removed from my Steam account though a couple months later, so definitely be careful with sites like G2A. Just check like the seller feedback in terms of like that specific account. Generally speaking, if they have a high enough rating, you're probably going to be fine. The 2 games I bought that got removed, they were from an account with like 60% positive feedback, so yeah, that's kind of on me, but it's definitely an option you have. You can also sail the high seas, you know, if you're into that. But I mean, in my first year of PC gaming, I bought over 250 games already. Plus, if you consider that you aren't paying $60 a year for online either. I mean, if you think about it that way, like games are kind of cheaper already in a sense because you don't have to pay to access the online portion of a video game that you already paid for. Isn't that nice? So there is this idea going around that apparently playing on PC or getting into your games on PC is harder to do than on console, which that notion is just completely retarded in my opinion. Most games that release now, when you boot them up, they automatically adjust the setting to your computer's hardware and you can just start playing immediately. Also, games load faster on PC if you have an SSD, because despite what Sony would like you to think, they did not invent the SSD as much as they're trying to claim that with the PS5. You know, SSD have been a thing on PC since like what, 2013, 2014. So yeah, you can take advantage of next-gen technology 5 years ago. So, but yeah, it basically eliminates all load times. You're gonna get into the game faster. And also, if you're looking for that console experience, Steam has a big picture mode that literally gives you a console-like experience where you get an interface that you can use a controller to navigate that allows you to access your friends list, the store, and all of your games as well. So if you're into like that sit back on your couch experience and play games with a controller, you can do that on PC extremely easily. So basically what this boils down to is if you know how to press a power button on a computer, you're probably going to be fine. Trust me guys, I have faith in you. But in conclusion, guys, the switch to PC gaming is definitely something you should be taking a look at doing if you're able to do so. Ever since I switched to PC gaming, I've just been overall having a better time with games than I ever did on console. I mean, the only console I think I've actually played for more than like 10 hours in the past year has been the Nintendo Switch, because, you know, the Switch is a lot easier to bring with you when you go out of town versus like an 85 fucking pound computer, 3 monitors, a keyboard and mouse, a headset, a mic, and a boom arm. So, you know, Nintendo Switch wins the portability factor, but other than that, PC gaming is my go-to place to play games. And like I said, I still basically know nothing about computers, and honestly, there has never really been a time where I have needed to. Like, PC gaming is really easy to get into, and it's only getting easier by the day. And this new console generation is coming up soon, so it's definitely a good time to maybe start thinking about making the switch and maybe start saving some money up. I saved for my PC for about 2 years because it was before I was making those big bucks on YouTube, guys. You know, now I just drive a Ferrari everywhere I go, and I can just say fuck it looking at the price tag, yeah, I wish that was true. But all things considered, I'm definitely happy I made the switch over to PC gaming, and my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. And I really do mean that, because I do enjoy PC gaming that much. But hopefully this video did answer a couple questions you had about this topic. The last video I made like this got a ton of positive reception, and I really enjoy seeing people actually say like, oh yeah, this video actually helped me. I was on the edge of whether or not PC gaming was for me. I thought it was a lot more complicated than it was. This video actually made me feel better about the Switch, and that's what I'm trying to do here, because I feel like a lot of YouTube videos out there make PC gaming seem really fucking intimidating, because, you know, they talk about the technical side of things a lot more than just the casual side of things, and that's what I am. I'm a casual PC gamer, not afraid to admit it. You know, casuals unite, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm not a real PC gamer. I didn't build my first PC, but whatever, man. It's all good. Hopefully this video helped, and if you did enjoy it, smash that like button harder than a kid on Call of Duty will claim he smashed your mom after you hard scoped him with a sniper rifle. But anyway, guys, as always, thanks for taking the time out of your day to check out the video and for all the recent support as well, and I will catch you guys next time.